Hello and welcome back to another day on the island hidden in the fog. Today is going to be a quiet day of redecorating the campsite. But before we get into that, we have a visitor. So let's go say hi to our dear cousin Red. I'll be honest, I haven't been doing a great job at collecting items for the museum, so let's hope Red has something that we don't already have. It looks like we're in luck because I have never seen that stone statue in-game before, so we are going to be snagging that up for our museum. I kind of also want to buy that cactus too, but I don't have a use for it on this island, so it'd be kind of a waste. I think this time I'm going to leave it though. Now for a quick stop at Nooks. My pockets are very full, so I need to sell some things, but I also wanted to see what they had in store today. They don't really have anything that I want, so we're just gonna go ahead and sell, and then I can go and grab everything out of storage that we need, and I'll meet you at the campsite. My cat has now decided to join me, so if you hear any random noises, it's probably just him. I've done a few Treasure Island trips recently and ended up finding some items that I thought would be really cute here in the campsite, so we're gonna try and find some places for them today. One of them being this first aid kit. I don't know about you, but this is like an essential item that I bring anytime I go camping. Ooh, if I leave it here, we won't be able to walk past it, so I might need to find a new spot for it. While I'm thinking about that, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this balloon. I still want to be able to walk near the ducks, so we're going to find a new spot for the first aid kit. I think it could be cute placed right in front of the campsite. I don't want it there, or to grab the flowers. I forgot to put these flowers back. I think the campfire might be a little bit in the way for me to place the first aid kit there, so I'm just going to scoot that down a tile or two. There, I think that should be good. Now to push everything back into place. And now the flower needs to go, but we'll put it back in later, after we find a spot for the second log stool. And now I want to shift all of this stuff forward as well. I'm hoping now that everything has been shifted forward at least one tile, there will be room to add another tree in here. This area is just a bit too open for my liking, but it's possible that once I add trees to the second cliff, that'll actually fix the issue that I'm having. But I plan to put a villager up there that we don't have yet, so I'm not ready to decorate that area. I'm just gonna have to deal with the lack of trees for hopefully not too much longer. Alright, I almost have all of the well stuff shifted. I just need to check on it real quick. Just need to scooch this over a little. I think this should be good, but let's check again anyways. Perfect. Now we can go ahead and shift the rest of the items on over. Now let's see if I can fit a tree in here. Sweet, I doubt I'll get another one in here though. I think I'm actually going to move the water pump to the side of the well so that way the bucket can be placed next to it. Now I'll need to find something to put here instead of the water pump. I think probably a bush or a flower would be best there. Just gotta scoot the bucket into place and place the bush, and then we're done with this little section. I think that looks pretty cute. I don't remember why, but I time traveled for some reason, and now we're kind of on a gloomy day, which I actually don't mind. Now that we have a little bit of extra room back here and a bit more shading from adding an extra tree, I wanted to hide the iron garden bench back here. We can just pretend that there's a trail behind the campsite that leads you to this nice little outlook with a bench so you can stare at the ocean. Oh my pockets are so full. After I start placing a few items, it won't be so bad. But until then, I'll be shuffling things around with the one open space in my pockets. I think I want the bench to be in line with this cutout in the coastline, so it's going to be placed up against the cliff bump out. Then I think I'm going to place the bush that I dug up earlier next to the garden bench, and also move the flowers closer to the well. I'm not sure what I want to do with the rest of this section behind the campsite, so I'm not going to be placing any pathing down here yet. However, I do want to get the pathing done today that leads you to the campsite from Able Sisters. I have a rough idea of the shape that I want to do, and I know it's going to take me a while, so I think I'm going to do the bulk of it on my couch, and then I'll come back and we can do the fine-tuning together. So I'll see you in a little bit. Hello again. It has actually been quite a few hours, and I may have done a little bit of time traveling too. Anyway, this is what I've come up with for the path so far. I think it's a great start, and we definitely have enough room for a little roundabout, which was kind of the main thing I wanted to do with this path. I've seen a few people do this where they'll make a path that goes around their lily of the valley when they finally hit 5 stars, and that's something that I've always wanted to do on an island, and I thought this would be the perfect place to do it. So when we finally hit 5 stars, we will have the perfect place to put our first lily of the valley. I do think that the center of this roundabout is a little bit too small, so first thing I want to do is make that a little bit bigger. I think I'm only going to do the pathing tonight, and then another day I will decorate this, but I am so excited to build and decorate this little section. I don't know what it is about roundabouts, but I just love them. I think they're so fun. I actually came up with this idea before moving the campsite, which is kind of why I moved it to where I moved it to, so that way I could place the roundabout and have enough places to go to coming off of it. Hopefully that made some sense. But if you're standing in the center of it, north is the campsite, east is Nan's, south is Able Sisters, and west is the beach. I don't plan to block any of the beaches off, so you'll be able to get to them from pretty much anywhere on the island, but I do want to build a few proper entrances to the beach. This section is probably going to be decorated similar to the entrance to the neighborhood, so a lot of apple trees and mushroom items. And I'll probably hide a few gyroids in here as well. Anyway, I'm still working on trying to make the center of the roundabout just a little bit bigger, and I'm doing that by making the path to the beach just a little bit smaller, which I think will be okay since the beach is not a main focus of this area. I want people to be going either to the campsite or to Nan's, and then maybe on their way back they happen to notice that there's also a path that goes to the beach. I think we're almost at a good size for the center of the roundabout. I want to be able to place at least a tree in there with the lily of the valley and maybe a couple other items, though I'm not entirely sure what yet. Let me know if you have any suggestions, or what would you put in here if you had this on your island? Maybe I'll place the first villager photo I get, but I guess that means I need to start talking to them. I think we could even make this a little bit bigger, and then I think I'll be happy with the path. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but we do have a campsite visitor today. So once we're all done with making the path here, we're gonna go and see who's visiting us at the campsite. We haven't had the best luck with the campsite, so I'm not expecting a dreamy, but I'm hoping at least to see someone that I like. I've probably been staring at this path for a little bit too long, but I think I want to make it a little bit thicker in between the beach and Able Sisters. I just want this section of the path to be a little bit wider, and I think that'll be the last adjustment I'll make today. I am starting to get a little bit tired, so if I do end up wanting to change anything, I can just fix that next time I decide to work on this section. Anyways, I'm about to place the last piece, and then I will meet you over by the campsite. Ooh, do we have any guesses for who it might be? I hope it's Wart Jr. I don't want to wait to find out, so let's just go in. I don't know who this bird is, but they're not that bad, but I also don't want them either, so I'm gonna go. Well, that's gonna be it for me today. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me while we continue to build the island. Thanks for liking and subscribing, it really means a lot to me, and I think next time we might do some decorating around nooks, so I'll see you then. Bye!